Hi everybody, here we are once again in Eurovision Fantasia. We are Cara and Aitor, and today we have with us Nicklas Sonne from Denmark, who will be trying to represent Denmark in and competing in next Dance Melody Grand Prix to compete for Denmark in Eurovision 2023 in Liverpool. Hi Nicklas, thank you so much for accepting our invitation for the interview, and we are happy to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
So talking about your journey and a little bit like how did you end up like getting into the competition? How do you feel when you got chosen to enter, and how did you choose like to enter and to take part of this competition? And what are your expectations for both Dance Melody Grand Prix and eventually if you end up winning it on the the major Eurovision?
Well, I I got kind of chosen to be a part of this. Back in 2019, I got contacted by one of those who choose the contestants, and I had a song ready. Unfortunately, at the time, my current band at the time didn't want to be a part of the contest because we were an established band, and it wouldn't be such a good idea for us to enter as that band. Those guys thought. I was ready though, but then jumping forward to late last year, I released my solo album. And suddenly it was only myself who decided what to do, and I sent in some songs, and they really liked it. And they loved the idea of having some more rock and roll music in the contest here in Denmark. It's not something that we are doing a lot back here in Denmark, so that was something that they wanted to, and I wanted that too as well, you know. So I just sent in some songs, and they liked them, and I went to a meeting with them, and they said that the songs could not be released, and I was like, oh, I should have known. But they were just released like 2 weeks earlier, so I had to write another song. So I wrote another song, and it was Freedom, and they loved it. So that's how I got into the contest. So just me writing to them like, we need this, we need something with more balls. I think I wrote that. So, and they thought that too. So when they decided that my song was in the contest, I was of course very happy. So it was, you know, for me, I've always been like, I've never really cared which channel I can get my music out of, you know. It can be in the metal and hard rock community. There can be many people can judge you for doing something mainstream. But I've always been like, well, if it's a channel with a lot of listeners, and if I can get my musical message out to a lot of people, I don't really care what segment I'm doing this in. So for me, it was a very, very good segment, you know, because it's just such a big event. So why not get my music out and my messages out from that? So I was very happy to be a part of that. Am happy to be a part of it.
That's great. So you were talking about how you got asked to be on Dance Magic Grand Prix a couple of years ago, right? Was there a moment like before then you ever considered entering yourself or wanting to go on Eurovision, or was it just being asked that kind of gave you the idea of competing?
Well, I've always, you know, liked the contest idea, and I've always felt that I've always like had a kind of a dream to enter because, well, because of the size of it, you know, and because it would be so much fun, you know. It's just so enormous, and for me it would be very different. I've played big festivals, and you know, I've played arenas with Metallica and all these great shows, but it's still, even though those are very big shows, this is much different. You know, it's on television and all that. So for me, it would be a huge experience, a life experience to have. So I've always dreamed about participating, but I've never really kind of dared thinking about that it would be a possibility because of my genre. So yeah, it's nice to be like chosen now.
Yeah.
Didn't expect that.
Rock music's great at Eurovision. Like remember Blind Channel in Finland, Måneskin obviously won, Lordi, so many good rock bands.
Yeah, I think since Lordi it really like got its place in Eurovision, like the rock and this like genre, and then in the last years it's been like very successful, I would say. So yeah, I think it's something that Europe wants to listen to for sure. So now talking a little bit more about your song. So what inspired you to write the song on Freedom? And we can hear it's a rock rock sounding song, which is your genre as we discussed. And the lyrics are they talk about how you are reclaiming your freedom from someone who took it away. Is it a personal story, or what inspired you to write the song?
It is a personal story. You know, it's very difficult to write lyrics for a 3-minute song. You cannot say so much, you know, in that time frame. But, you know, I wanted to write a song about myself, but not only myself. You know, maybe I wanted to write a song about people who have felt like something has been taken away from them a lot in life, and you know, you're pursuing a dream, but once you're pursuing it, some people are unfortunately very quick to judge you for pursuing that dream, and oh, you cannot make that, you should do something else, you should have a plan B and a plan C, and you'll never make it. And you know, people are always trying to kind of drag you down, sometimes at least. And for me, it's been something that's followed me since I was a little kid. You know, I started playing drums when I was very little, and I've always like wanted to be a musician and live by playing music and writing songs. But you know, oh, you should have an education, and oh, you can't do that. And I had a very unfortunate time in school. I was being bullied a lot, you know, so I never really had any self-esteem to build or grow from in this career. But you know, through success stories within just pursuing the dream and kind of ignoring all the people who told me that I couldn't do it, I gained the self-esteem to continue building myself and building my music and my career. And Freedom is kind of just about that, you know, about kind of ignoring all the people who tries to drag you down, and just pursuing your dream until you eventually catch it. Because if you spend much time and do hard work in something that you're passionate about, you will eventually reach it. I think that's my philosophy, you could say. So that's what Freedom is about: reaching your goals despite of the competition, or not competition. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, but more about the songwriting of the songs. Obviously, you wrote it about 2 weeks, you said, because it had to be released. You couldn't have it released beforehand. Did you write it by yourself? Did you have a team? How did you manage to write this song in like 2 weeks?
Yeah. I wrote it in 4 hours, actually. Yeah. I don't even
That's
know
impressive.
if that, you know. But you know, because I went home the same day, and they needed it now, a song. So there was already like, oh, you can come again next year, and I was like, no way, this is gonna happen. So I got back home into my studio here, and just started writing. And I started writing in a whole other direction, and this song just kind of happened. And that's the beautiful thing with the creativity and the intuition. If you just follow your musical things inside, I think you can just end up with something very special very quickly. Of course, I was working on the song a couple of days, because I needed to mix it and master it. I needed to do some things here and there on the song, you know. But the kind of structure of the song I wrote on that day in 4 or 5 hours, and with some random lyrics. I didn't write the lyrics. I wrote the music and just sung random things to create the melody. And I wrote the lyrics the day after or something. But you know what inspired me was just that I needed to do it. I think I needed to have something now, and I just got into the zone and got creative, and then everything just kind of flows like this insane storm. Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah. Once you start and you're inspired, like you can write like the whole song in like few minutes. So
yeah, it's just like yeah.
Explosion, of creativity.
Just lucky it was very good.
Yeah.
That's good enough.
That's good. Maybe under pressure you work better, and you were like, okay, I need to write this song to submit for Eurovision.
Yeah, gotta do it now.
Yes. So talking about a little bit more about the competition. So you are entering Dance Melody Grand Prix, which the final will be held on the Saturday, the 11th of February, which is like literally in 2 weeks from today. So what sort of performance can we expect? Because from this performance, with this song, we can expect a very energetic and powerful performance. But can you give us a little hint of the performance, and also can we expect someone with you on the stage, some fire, some dramatic lightning?
Yeah, I have my own band, my solo project band, and those guys are gonna join me on stage. We
Amazing.
are all gonna play live because you can do that in the Danish Melodi Grand Prix. I know we can't do it in the Eurovision, but we're doing it here because we are a live band. You know, we are 4 friends playing rock and roll music together, and we're all very good players. So I think that we can pull this off without, you know, any problems and any issues. So we're definitely gonna play live, and you're gonna see us just entering this contest as a band, you know, and that's for me been the whole purpose since the beginning. I love this very big and enormous things that are going on in Eurovision. You know, all the crazy outfits and all this. I love it, but I wanted to do something different with my participation. So we are actually just joining as ourselves, like we would in another venue. Of course, there's gonna be crazy lightning and screens with things on, and maybe some fire. You never know. But you know, us as ourselves are just joining the stage together as friends in a black outfit or something with our guitars and our instruments. So it's gonna be kind of minimalistic, but still very big and impactful.
Okay, I love that. So if you were to win Dance Melody Grand Prix in like 2 weeks' time, what would it mean to you? And also, what would you do to adapt your performance from there onto the stage in Liverpool? Obviously, you talked about really having to not like have your band perform live. Like, would you keep them on stage? Would you just have them there like faking it? Like, what would you do about that? Just in general, the staging.
Yeah, we would definitely play, but we wouldn't be plugged in. But we would definitely play, and we would do that because that's our show. You know, we are a band, and I think that's very important for my participation to show and to deliver to people. You know, for me, a part of the rock show and the many live shows is that you are actually doing something on stage. You know, all your hard work, you've been sitting in your room in your studio and just practiced all these licks and the drums and all that. You know, for me, being a musician needs to show, and we will definitely bring that to Eurovision as well, even though it's gonna be playback, not the vocals, of course, but the instruments. So it would be, if I won the Danish one, I would be completely overwhelmed. You know, that would be over the top. I don't even know what to say. You know, I don't expect it. I don't have any hopes, but of course, you know, I have hopes, but you know, I don't dare hope too much. You know, I know that I'm playing a genre that's pretty new in Denmark, and yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. I can't even imagine how I would react. It'd be crazy.
Yeah, yeah. And I think it will be the first rock song representing Denmark, right?
Ready was
one of
like
the first one.
rocky stuff last year. Danish Jack last year, they had like a band, but they weren't like proper like heavy metal and that. Last year in Denmark, it was more poppy, I think, their song.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I would definitely be the hardest rock act from Denmark. But
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe ever. I can't think of a harder rock act right now, at least.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I think that would be
Yeah, I think Denmark is the only Nordic country that didn't send this kind of music yet, because you know, like the rest they did it already. Like Sweden they did, Finland they did, Iceland they did, Norway kind of also, but not Denmark. So yeah, it would be great to hear.
We're not a very rock and roll country here in Denmark, but you know, it's funny because the underground music in Denmark, we call it the underground. I don't know if you call it that, but you know, the underground here in Denmark, we have a lot of metal, but it's very metal. It's like, you know, all the time, and very gently and down tuned. So you know, but that's a very big thing here in Denmark, but it's just never reached the mainstream channels at all. So it's for me, it's, you know, it's both good for me to participate for myself, of course, but it's also good for the Danish metal community for me to that I'm participating, because I can kind of push the rock and roll a bit to the mainstream channels. So I'm happy to do it.
Of course. And not talking more in general, like apart from Eurovision and Dance Melodic Grand Prix, what can we expect from you? Do you have more plans to release music soon with your band or solo, or any tours or collaborations coming up?
Yeah, and just to get back to the other question, I didn't get to I forgot to answer that. I write the music myself for my solo project here, and everything you hear on Freedom and on my solo record released back in November last year, I've been recording myself.
Wow.
On the solo album, I've had my drummer from my solo band come and record the drums that I made. So I'm kind of deciding everything. I needed that because I have so much creativity, so it's not like I'm trying to be the boss of everything. I just have so much inside that I want to be in specifically my idea. But yeah, I'm doing that myself, and I've already written a song actually to follow up on Freedom. So we'll have to see when that's going to be released. Right now we have a window in about late February, but it all depends on how well Freedom does. If I end up winning the Danish Grand Prix here, it will be held back a little bit. But then there will be this single released in March, maybe, and then I will have another album to follow it up later this year. Yeah.
It's very exciting, isn't it?
Mhm.
Like, oh my god! And also, if you won the Dance Magic Grand Prix, you'd probably be performing your new single as well at the Eurovision pre-parties, because everyone like older artists always bring out their song from Eurovision and then like extra songs as well. So that'd be really cool. And for everyone to hear more of your stuff as well. And for Dance Magic Grand Prix, you're up against a very tough competition this year. This is one of the really strongest Dance Magic Grand Prix I've been seeing in a while. How do you feel about the competition?
Well, I try not to see the others as competition, but just, partners that I have to perform a show with. So I try not to, dwell too much into it, because they are very good artists. I think that maybe my chances are very bad or very good. I think I'm not gonna be in the middle, because either people are gonna hate what I'm doing or they're gonna love it. So I see myself kind of a little bit in another room than the other guys, because it's so different. I'm coming here, I've written the song by myself, I've recorded everything myself and all that, and the other contestants have songwriters and all these classic things. So I'm kind of the black sheep in the room. So I'm kind of distancing myself a little bit, and not trying to think about it as being a competition so much. Just us doing a great show together, I think. Yeah, at least that's what I'm trying to do.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, that's nice.
Sorry for the clumsy answer here.
No, it's fun. And now talking about Eurovision, like in general, I expect I think I will know your answer already. But if you watch Eurovision, if you're a follower of Eurovision, which song would you highlight from Eurovision in general, from the story of Eurovision, either from Denmark or from other countries?
Well, there was this from Måneskin. That was an insanely good song. So that's my highlight. And if you go a bit back in time, the Brothers Olsen was a very good song as well. I think just a song. Yeah.
All the Danish say the same. Like they say Olsen Brothers because it's iconic.
Nice. Yeah.
Do you like any of the other rock songs? Maybe like Lordi, Blind Channel, The Rasmus, or the Måneskin's better for you?
Yeah, I like them. I definitely like them. My issue, it's not an issue, but my issue with Lordi is the growl things. I've done it myself a lot of times in my other projects and all that, but I just like the good melody so much. So I need the melody. The other songs are very great. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we ended the interview now here. And yeah, thank you so much for your time and taking time to answer our questions. And yeah, we wish you the best luck for the live performance. We can wait to hear the song live, which I'm sure that we will sound even better, and you will make a great show to elevate the song live. Yeah, before we go, if you can send a message to our followers in Eurovision Fantasia and your fans watching this video, that would be amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, going back to what the song is about, that's what I'm like that's what I want to say to people, to remind them to just believe in themselves, because I meet a lot of people who don't believe enough in themselves or their own dreams, you know. And I've had the issue myself, not believing enough in myself. But if you just believe in what you want to do, there is a possibility that you can actually reach it, you know. If you don't believe it, you will never reach your goal. So just believe in yourself, and everything will be just fine. That's my say here.
Amazing. Nice. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on the channel.